Well, morning, Saturday morning even to you. Welcome back to Shaving with Fuzzy. I'm Fuzzy. How y'all? Oh, yeah. Speaking of Fuzzy, hold on. Oh yeah. Should have done that before we started, huh? Damn prop boy. Anyway, how y'all doing? Saturday. Weekend off, of course. I don't always shave on weekends off. That may be changing before long. I may have some news here before too long. Probably another week or so. We'll see. Anyway. Well, it's Saturday, what, coming up on 10:30-ish, something like that in the morning. I don't know. I'm going to go run some errands. I've got... Still got a little cough. I've got to... get to the post office. Tom's no-name SC Razor is headed to afternoon. It will be headed to Australia. Yes. So, got to go get that taken care of and get it on its way across the world. Alright, so, was watching a video yesterday with Jill, and she had unpacked a Micro Matic that she had gotten. And it was a very nice one. She actually had one of the cases. It's kind of the clamshell that opens up. You know, check it out. It's a nice looking razor. I love the Micro Matics, of course. I also love the clog proof and the flying wing Micro Matic. But the original Micro Matic is just an awesome razor. But anyway, so I got to thinking, hey, I haven't done a Micro Matic shave in a while. Why not? So that's what we're going to do today. I'll get to the razor in a second. I also haven't used the RazoRock XXX in a while. And this is good stuff. It really is. It's got a nice classic scent to it. It's good stuff. We're going to finish up with the Pinaud Citrus Musk, which is good stuff. I started to use the Clubman because I'm probably going to go by and get a haircut while I'm out today. And after they do the neck shave at the barbershop I use, they splash on some Clubman sometimes. But I'm in a Citrus Musk mood, and if they do use the Clubman, it's not like it's going to hurt anything. It's, you know, the two don't mix and cause cyanide or anything like that. And for our brush today, we're going to fire up the old Semogue 1305, which is a favorite little boy brush of mine. So there we go. So the razor. So I've got a couple of these kits. They're Bakelite, and they say gem on top, and you pop them open, and they hold the razor. And it's got a used blade bank and a new blade bank and the razor nestled in there, and they make a really nice little set. And I've got a couple different colors of those. I don't have as many as I used to because I went on a binge and PIFs a bunch of stuff here a while back. But anyway, and this one's got some scratches on the head. It's definitely been used over the years. You got some plate loss on the teeth there and everything. It still opens up really nice and smooth, and it closes nice and tight and everything. It's just really, really, really a nice, you know, user grade. Maybe a little bit better than just base user grade, but it's still good. So the blade we're going to use is a Treet, and this Treet has 3 shaves on it, so it's going to be a 4-day blade. And it's simple to load blades in. You just slide them in the head there and make sure that they're up behind the blade stops. And then you crank the head down tight. As you notice, the head comes down, and then it moves forward to hold everything in place. Great design. These things are built like tanks, boys and girls. Tanks, I'm telling you. And I'm not talking about them little like Russian tanks. You know, those things are something. So that's today's setup. Oh, and the Cafe Bustelo in the injury-free cup here. Safety from where I used to work at the plant. I did security at the plant. I didn't actually work at the plant, but I did security at a plant. And the news is I may be going back doing that again at a different place with a different company. Long story. Maybe one day. But anyway, so I got my coffee mug here, and says, what we got here? Nothing we do is worth getting hurt for. And then on the back side it says injury free. So here we go. A little RazoRock here. And it's very nice. Barbershoppy, classy scent. RazoRock soaps are easy to lather. You'll notice there's no blooming. There's also no bowl. I'm not having soup this morning. So we're not raising flowers. We're not having soup. With the razor, we're not putting the window in today, so we're not shimming anything. So there we go. Alright. Get us a load here. Soap on the brush. And away we go. Now you'll notice the only prep I used was wiping my face off with a warm, damp rag. Yeah, that's it. Amazingly enough, I'll be able to shave without cutting my face off. You like more prep? Knock it out. See if I can keep from coughing and sneezing my way through here. I finally about over there. I am over the sinus problems I have, but now I'll have a cough for months sometimes. I don't know. I guess it's just, you know, getting older. I don't know. I'm okay with getting older. I enjoy the ride. Beats the alternative. No problems. So the Micro Matic, which is obviously an open comb. These things have a reputation of being beast. It's not a bad reputation, and it's not an unfair reputation. The Micro Matic is very, very unforgiving if you don't use it right. And that means if you have bad technique, this thing is a beast. It really is. Now, if you have good technique with a Micro Matic, it is efficient, is just unbelievably efficient. I didn't show you before we put the lather on and everything, but it's like over a 2-day growth now, almost a 3-day growth. And I say Thursday morning, so I got Thursday, Friday. So yeah, it's, you know, coming up from that. And so it's a good growth to work on. The Micro Matic loves that. It's just, now open comb, I was going to mention this. Open comb does not automatically mean an aggressive razor. There's those that believe that, and oh, it's open comb, I can't use it, it's aggressive. There's no such thing as a razor that's too aggressive to use. Your technique might not be good enough. That can happen. But there's no such thing as a razor that's too aggressive to use if the razor is not damaged and you got good blades and yada yada yada. Oh, you got to throw that in for some reason. The village idiot to come through hollering, oh, you know, you can't. No. If the razor's not damaged is what I'm talking about. If the razor doesn't hold the blade tight, or the blade's wavy, or the things are bent, or this is that, then of course, you know, no matter what you do, you know, nothing you do will ever make a dull blade shave. You can't do that. I don't care what your technique's like. So if you got a blade that's not defective, meaning that it's sharp, and if you have equipment that's not defective, then there's no such thing as a razor that's too aggressive. Remember that. It's important. Jim always said, Jim Cutlery and all the other ones and the folks that built these razors always said that you shave with it flat on your face. That's the angle they built it for. That's the angle Fuzzy uses. And that holds everything good and in place. Angle and pressure, that's all this is about anyway. And so you come up, we're going to get us a little skin stretching going on here. And we're going to run it pretty flat and just run it right on down. And it'll look like we know what we're doing, which is an amazing thing. Run it down nice and flat. And it's always easier to shave flat surfaces. You've heard me say that before, and there's a reason I say that. The reason I say that is because it's true. So we can pull where we got the curve of our chin here. We can do a little skin stretching, and we end up with a nice flat place to shave. How you like it? I like that enough to have another sip of coffee. That's how I like it. It's inspirational almost. Alrighty. So here we go. Now we'll come up under here. Again, holding it flat against the face. Now does that mean that if you don't have the razor held flat against your face that it's not going to shave? No, not at all. It really doesn't. But this is how the equipment was designed to be used. Some people say they can hold it just a wee little bit off, and they can No, you can't. Some people just got to be special. No, you can't feel any difference if you hold it just a wee little bit off, because it doesn't really work running flat for me like it does for everybody else in the world and the way it was designed. No, it doesn't. Alright. Now, I normally don't clean up between lather passes, but we're going to, so you can see how we're doing here. Now, again, I realize that I didn't start out by showing, but maybe you can see in the video anyway to start. But that's what one pass looks like on it. I had a nice, almost 3-day growth going, 2 or 3 day growth, whatever. And that is an excellent start. And even after washing my face off and all, you can still feel some slickness there. The RazoRock soaps are just great. I've got 3 of them now. And ironically, all 3 of them were passed to me, or I won in different things. But I've got this XXX, I've got the Classic, and then I've got Tobacco, I think, number 1 maybe, which is a nice floral scent. I guess it's the tobacco flower. If anyone tells you, and I'm going to say this again, because every time I think about a tobacco soap, I think about the folks that chime up and say, yep, smells like my favorite tobacco store, going in there and buying my cigars. And no. It does not smell like tobacco leaf. It especially does not smell like cured tobacco leaf. Maybe it smells like green tobacco leaf. I don't know. It does not smell like cured tobacco leaf like you would get in a cigar store or tobacco store. It's a floral scent to me. Alright, so we'll keep the head down flat here on our across the grain, because everybody will remember, fuzzy don't do against the grain. There's absolutely no need in it. That's just tempting irritation. And even if you do get a little bit closer shave, which I don't know about, but anyway, even if you feel you do, it's not gonna last. Not with me anyway. A couple hours, 3 hours at the most, I'm back having sandpaper. So, why risk the irritation and everything? Behind that ear, so we're gonna come across. And we can come across at a pretty sharp angle across here. And the Micro Matic riding on the head, nice and flat, does its job. And we could even go back this way a little bit if we want to. Look at there. Micro Matic, you can run it just like any other razor. I mean, the thing can be a beast, really. It's very efficient. And, you know, I say the same thing about, I've got a Schick E2, one of the early models. That thing is a beast. I mean, really. You got to stay on your toes with that thing. But with proper technique, it is a wonderfully good shaving razor. Without proper technique, it is a wonderfully good face ripping tool. Just saying. Alright, there we go with 2 passes of our lather. Get cleaned up a little bit here. Another sip of the good old Cafe Bustelo. Look at that. Isn't that nice? I can tell you, that's nice. Gotta love the Micro Matic. Now the Micro Matic Clog Proof and the Micro Matic Flying Wing, which was the last of the models built, are fine razors themselves. They're not open comb, but they're still, especially the Clog Proof, is still like a tank. I mean, really, it's just the closest to the original Micro Matic. The Flying Wing, hold that thought. Sorry about that. We don't edit videos, so you know, got to kind of deal with it. The Flying Wing is still built like a tank, but it was a little bit smoother design, I guess you would say, and it's not as square and tanky. It's got more round. It's got the little bullet tip on the bottom that's really neat instead of the antenna tip here, and they're all really good razors. Really good razors. All right, so touch-up pass. That was Witch Hazel I put on, and I keep it in my generic squirt bottle here. This particular one is Dickerson's because that's what the store had when I needed a refill. I usually just get whatever the generic store is it'll be 14% alcohol, because that's, you know, part of the process, I understand, is where the alcohol comes from. Now, if you want to pay the extra money and you want to get the Thayer's that has some sense to it and doesn't have the alcohol in it, knock yourself out. But it's more expensive, and I don't think it does any better of a job at all. Clean up around the goatee a little bit. Just like that. So there we go. The Micro Matic. Now, if you just say Micro Matic, this is what you're talking about. It's got the open comb. There was nothing in the period advertising or anything that says Micro Matic open comb. It just said Micro Matic. And then when it moved into the clog proof and the flying wing, which also the flying wing was built as a guiding eye, they put the little eye on there. That was, to me, a marketing thing. But anyway, then you would see Micro Matic clog proof. And I understand that sometimes they wouldn't even put the clog proof on there. It was just Micro Matic, and they showed it later. But the majority of the advertising from the time, with the clog proof and the flying wing, it said clog proof flying, especially the guiding eye. They used the marketing of the guiding eye to press it. But Micro Matic, you never saw where it said open comb. And someone pointed that out over at Toast one time, and I got to thinking about it, because I had always said, you know, MMOC, although a lot of people used OCMM, the open comb Micro Matic. I always thought it was the Micro Matic open comb, so I used MMOC. Had to be a little different from the crowd. Imagine that, huh? Anyway, so we're using a carbon steel blade here. So of course the blade has to be dried. Now, is that a big issue? No, that's not a big issue. You hold it by the spine and you run it through and you wipe it off. Sharp edges up away from your fingers so you're not slicing anything. You got that nice thick spine to hold on to, and then you take your old razor and clean it off. Now, I think personally that carbon steel blades last as long as the stainless steel coated blades. I don't think there's any need for stainless steel coated blades. You know, it's not hard to dry a blade off. Now, I think carbon steel is smoother from the start. With a stainless steel blade, I think you got to put a couple of shaves on it before it smooths out some. Personal thought. But the carbon steel, to me, is just a better shave. It's a better feel. That being said, will the stainless steel Gem PTFE coated blade shave good? Absolutely. Great shaves. Not going to say it's not. But, you know, with the carbon steel blades, pop them in. And that was the fourth shave on that blade. I'll get just as many shaves out of that blade as people will with the stainless blades. They are a little harder to find, I guess. I don't know. Accutech is making them now, and I haven't tried to order any from Accutech yet, but because I can still get the Treets local. They come in a 5-pack that looks like this, and I can still get them at a local convenience store. Ironically, if I go back to work in the plant, I'll be a whole lot closer to that store some days. So that's a nice thing. So anyway, that's my thoughts on the Micro Matic carbon steel blades, RazoRock soap. We've got the Semogue 1305, which is definitely a favorite boar brush of mine. It's obviously not as big as the Omega boar and some of my favorite brushes, but it is a very, very, very nice brush. My buddy Corto from Portugal hasn't been on Toast for a little while. I don't know, people get busy, they drift in, they drift out, and that kind of stuff. My buddy sent me that that brush, and he sent me a Semogue 208, which wasn't in production anymore, and I was debating whether I was going to use it or keep it to look at, and as you can see, I use it occasionally. So that's good stuff. So there you go. So that's Saturday for you. I've got some new subscribers at Toast, and on my YouTube channel, we've got some new people at Toast. Welcome to all of you. Especially welcome to, you know, all the folks that want to come in and chat with us. Come over to Toast. We've got a pretty nice PIF going on for Christmas. And it's a Burma Shave mug brush and soap holiday set. And then I've got a 1907 Gem Jr. that we're throwing in. Really nice set. There's a video here, there, and yonder, that stuff. There's actually a video on the Toast channel that I'm fixing to open back up for everybody to see, because we just started out with it for Toast members to see to start with. But pop over to Toast, look for the Christmas PIF thread, and pop it open. You'll have the link there, and you can see what we got going on. Jump in, get active with us. Join up for the PIF. That's how we do things. Alrighty, well, y'all have a good day. I'm going to go out and have a good day. And it's raining here. It's a little cool, but definitely not cold. But it's kind of a rainy day, so I'm going to go out and play in the rain and run some errands and get the Tinsor sent off to Australia today. That's kind of exciting. It's going to be on its way, and we'll get that taken care of. All right, well, y'all have a good day, and happy shaves to you.